Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm back. I know some of y'all was a little worried, but I'm back. We good. I had a little shit to do. I had to handle some shit. So, but we back. We still on this shit. And in this video right here, we're gonna sum up the witness statements. Now, anybody that's been following me know that here lately we've been covering the ZackTv case, and we all know who he is. And some of the witnesses that were brought to light, for instance, like the Subway lady who said she heard shots near Subway. Then we had Aaron. He was living in the high rise. So he was the one gave us the live video footage. Then we have the Wilson guy. The guy y'all pointed out, the black eye and all that shit. He was at Blackie's bar, and he was near where the crash happened. Okay, so then we had Mr. Danny Friedman. Now, there's been a lot of speculation that Danny was here at this bar right here. And through research, I found out that this bar is called First Draft. Okay, then we have this lady right here who told us that um, she was she was woken up and came out to her balcony and saw what the fuck was going on. Then we have, of course, T-Streetz. And from um, evidence from T-Street's family, we found out that he was a passenger in Zack's car. So, yeah, we're going to get into this shit and we're going to discuss what these witnesses had to tell us, okay? So, let's get it. So, we all know that Zack was leaving this bar right here called The Refuge the night that he was killed. And we even have live footage of him inside this bar, okay? So, what we about to do real quick is we're going to cover the route because we got to cover the route so we can get into the witness statement. So, this right here, what I'm about to show y'all is the route that it took from him to get from this bar to where he crashed at the 700 block of Clark Street. And this is the route that was taken. So I want y'all to pay attention to the route. And again, notice that this street right here is a one-way. When he passed over the first intersection, that's the first light. And then you're going over into the 500 block of Clark Street. And again, it's still a one-way. And, people were pointing out that there's like a federal building over here. So we know there's cameras down there. You can't tell me there's no fucking cameras, okay? But most importantly is this intersection right here. When you cross over this intersection, you're in the 600 to 700 block of Clark Street. And notice it becomes two lanes, okay? And as soon as you cross over this intersection, on the right-hand side, right here coming up, is where Subway is, okay? And then on the left-hand side, if you look to the left, right here, it's where Danny Friedman was supposed to be. And then as soon as you pass that little bar, I told y'all it's called First Draft. Soon as y'all pass that bar, you come up on the crash site. And this is where they found Zack's car. Right in here is where the crash was. And then when you look at where the bus is, it's in front of that bar called Blackie's, okay? And then this is the high rise where Aaron was. That's where we got the live footage from. Some people thought that shit was a drone. I didn't believe that shit, but it is what it is. You believe what you want to believe. But what's really important about this intersection right here is because all of the witnesses, like I said, seem to be in the same general location. And it's in this 600 to 700 block of Clark Street. Okay? And we're going to get into where the witnesses were and what they saw. So again, let me walk y'all through this. When you cross over this intersection, there's a parking garage right here to the right. Okay? And right next to this parking garage is where Subway is. Subway's right here. Now, don't forget what the lady told us. The lady said that she heard shots. She ran in the Subway where Travis was working. And she told him, like, hey, look, I heard shots out there. He ain't believe her, so he went outside. And then that's when he said he saw a man run past with blood on his shirt. And Subway is right here to the right. Now, if you look to your left from Subway is where that bar is called First Draft. And this bar is open till 2 o'clock in the morning. All this shit jumped off at about 1:30. And this is where Danny Friedman was supposed to be. Now, if anybody know anything different, let me know. But Danny Friedman told us that he saw some cars meet up and some niggas got out and they looked like they were going to fight. And then when he said he felt uneasy about it, so he took his ass back in the bar. And he said once he got back into the bar, he heard gunshots. Okay? So what's really important about what Mr. Danny Friedman just told us was the fact that if he was at this bar right here, called the First Draft, he said some niggas was parked and out of their car looking like they was about to fight. So in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, well shit, it must have been some type of altercation. Okay? And I still believe that. But across the street from this bar is this right here. And this scene right here is important because I found a picture of one of the crime scene photos, like from the news. It was a clip from the news. But look at this shit right here. This is the area directly across the street from that bar called First Draft. And they got this shit roped off. And it was like, well, damn, okay, well, why is this roped off? Okay, so let's take a closer look. And what do you see? Now, let me just tell y'all this shit. I was going back and forth with another YouTuber, and I ain't gonna even put his name out there because I ain't gonna put his ass on blast because I still love him, you know. But he wanted me to believe that this right here was trash. I'm like, this ain't no motherfucking trash. This is, if you ever looked at crime scene photos, and I'm just one that I like looking at crime scene photos, you know, that's what I do. But this right here, these are the markers that they use to mark shell casings. Okay? So, this, I mean, do y'all think this shit is trash? That's not what this is to me. This is where the markers are for the shell casings. So, if there's markers there for shell casings, I mean, what the fuck does that tell us? That they was in that area shooting. Am I correct? Now, and I know a lot of us wanted to know where the shooting started. I mean, I know I wanted to know, you know. But in my opinion, based off of what I saw, ain't no doubt in my mind that that shit started right up in here. So then the question became, because, you know, one of the things that I thought about was the fact that T-Street's cousin told us that the shooter was in the black Chevy. Now understand this. Mr. Friedman was the only witness who told us that he saw some guys meet up, get out the car, and look like they was about to fight. Okay? So shit was already in motion right here. And then that made me think about the black Chevy. So it was kind of like, well, damn, was the black Chevy at some point parked in front of Zack? Is that where that rear end damage came from? Because clearly, if you look at this picture, there's rear end damage to this Chevy. And then, like I said, T-Street's family told us the shooter was in the black Chevy. Okay? And then one of the other things that stood out to me about the statement from Danny Friedman at that bar and the people at Subway was the fact that Danny Friedman said after the gunshots, when he went outside, a man was walking past him holding a handgun. And then on the other side of the street, the people at Subway told us after the gunshots, when they went outside, a motherfucker was running past them with blood on his shirt. So I'm like, okay, so are they witnessing the same guy? Or are we talking about two different motherfuckers right here? You understand what I'm saying? And which way were they going? Were they headed toward the crash site? Or were they going back up toward the intersection? Is a question that I had. So something happened up here in front of this bar where those shell casings were. And don't forget the live that T-Streetz did before he was killed. The live that he did. And there's some guys talking in the background. Remember this shit right here?
Hey, bro. So it was like two cars out there, man. Like, so the car that pulled up on them. Made it out to Italy and pray for that. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. So it was like a I'm on live.
Did y'all hear them niggas in the background? Y'all have to pay attention to their conversation. If you ain't hear it, rewind that shit. And pay attention. Put your headphones on if you have to. But what you gonna hear is some guys in the background talking. And one of the guys says, he's talking about some cars being out there. Okay? And then he says, yeah, so when they pulled up on him, and, you know, I took that to mean Zack. Okay? Another little guy comes in, and I can't make out what he says in the beginning. And trust me, y'all, I tried to blow this audio up as best as I could. I can't make out what he says in the beginning, but at the end of his statement, he says, oh yeah, he gonna pay for that. And another guy comes in and say, oh yeah, he is. And then they start to continue to discuss the cars out there. And what you hear is a guy say, quote unquote, it was a gold. That's what you hear. It was a gold. He mentioned the color gold. If you think I'm bullshitting, if you think I'm tripping, rewind it, pay attention, put your headphones on if you have to. That's what he says. As soon as he says that, T-Streetz shut that shit down. Like, hey, like I'm on live, like shut y'all ass up. I'm on live. Now, whether y'all want to admit it or not, these guys in the background was telling us part of the story. They was telling us part of the story. And understand this, T-Streetz knew the story. That's why they discussing this shit. T-Streetz know a part. He knows the story. He's out there. Don't forget his family member told us he was the passenger. He's out there. Okay? So then, you know, what it made me think about was when that one little guy says, oh yeah, he gonna pay for that. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. When I first heard that, it was kind of like they sounded as if they knew who did this. And the dude saying, oh yeah, he gonna pay for that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, we on his ass. And the other little guy like, oh yeah, he is. Like, yeah. Like, they on a hunt for a nigga. They know who did this. That's what that sounded like to me. I ain't gonna lie. And like I said, ain't no doubt in my mind, T-Streetz knew part of the story. That's why he shut this shit down. That's why he shut that conversation down. Quick. Real quick. And don't forget, Danny Freeman was the only witness that told us that he saw these guys get out the car, look like they was about to fight. You understand what I'm saying? So some shit happened. And this is where the shell casings were. So clearly this is where they started shooting. So who pulled up on him? And who was in a car that was gold in color? You follow me? So, yeah, I'm going to let y'all think about that, and we about to move on. Now, let's make our way down this street. So, if I'm at Subway, this is the angle that you see, and you see that the bar was on the left, and then when you continue on down this street, we're going to get to where the crash site was. So, again, pay attention to the route. Because in between this area and that bar where Danny Freeman was, or supposed to be, there's like a parking area. There's a parking lot. And then once we get past that parking lot, it's this tree right here. And I got this from Rebel. You know, shout out to Rebel. I love me some Rebel, man. We don't always see eye to eye, but I love me some Rebel. But this tree right here that he's pointing out, this is the tree where we thought we saw the shooter. Remember this shit right here? At this angle right here, we're looking down on that tree. So pay attention right there. And I'm about to show y'all where we thought the shooter was. You see the little flashes of light? Watch the tree. And one more time, y'all, for the one time. Now, I know there was a lot of speculation. When I put up that video, like, motherfuckers lost their mind. You hear me? Like, I was getting hate emails, all kind of shit. So, you know, motherfuckers went crazy with that. But some people said that it was just like reflections of light. You know, to me it looked like like gunshots, like shots being fired. So, I'm still believing that. I'm going to be honest with you. I still believe that because that's what it looks like to me. Now, I get it. Some people don't believe it, but I do, you know. But all of that happened near that tree, and it's right there by that bar. And when I thought about Danny Friedman's statement, when he said that he saw a guy walk back past him with a handgun, like, I question whether or not it was this nigga right here shooting by the tree. Or was he the guy that crossed over by Subway with blood on his shirt? Either way it go, I feel like somebody went back up toward the intersection, passing the bar and passing Subway. And like I said, I don't know if it was the guy with the handgun or if it was a guy with blood on his shirt. Or is it the same guy? We don't know. Did he, get up by the bar and then cross the street? I don't know. But what do y'all think about that? That guy didn't get in any of the vehicles. So where did he go? Because like I said, I'm one who believes that somebody was there. Now, like I said, I know some of you don't. So that's fine, So don't come over here trying to shit on me. Yeah, no. But in my mind, there was somebody there. And it looks like he may have left on foot. Okay? So the bigger question was, who was he shooting at? Who was he shooting at? You understand what I'm saying? Was he shooting at Zack? Was he shooting at another car? Who was he shooting at? That's the question. And then we got the high-rise footage. And keep in mind that there was 2 different angles to that live footage that we got that was caught after the crash. And what they showed in this live footage, because Aaron was one who provided us with that, what they showed was the guys going in and out of Zack's car, checking on him. Because that's what T-Street's family member told us. She said they was checking on Zack. Then they got in this car right here and pulled off. And she also told us that it was somebody's baby mama that was there at the scene. And she had been traveling behind them. You understand what I'm saying? That was the footage. That was the live footage that we got. And it happened after the crash. Both of them. We only have footage after the crash. Not before. And while these niggas was at the scene surrounding Zack's car, here come this motherfucker. Y'all remember him? Remember we was talking about, what happened to his eye? And I'm going to be honest with y'all, I don't know what happened to his eye. But I know he said he heard shots and he went toward the commotion. So let's take a quick recap of what he had to say.
A whole bunch of gunshots. Then I heard someone screaming. Then when I came around the corner, there was a whole bunch of people standing there saying they killed Jack.
Who's Jack? Do you know who Jack is?
I guess that's the guy in the car. And then they jumped in another car and left. The first car, when the shooting went flying past that way, it was like a beige van.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I really, really want to know what the fuck happened to his eye. I really do. But yeah. But y'all heard what he just said. He ran toward the commotion. They told him that, or he overheard them talking, however it went, that somebody killed Zack. But then, did you hear what he said? He backtracks and says, the first car, when the shooting flew past him going in one direction, he said, and it was a beige van. And I know at the beginning we was all like, damn, I wonder if that van had anything to do with it. And I wasn't sure. You know what I mean? And but the more I looked into this shit and then kept replaying that live that T-Streetz put out with them guys talking in the background, one of them guys says it was a gold. And I'm thinking he's talking about a gold vehicle. And we got this Wilson guy right here talking about a beige van. I think we talking about the same fucking car. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I think we talking about the same car. We got Darren Wilson saying a beige van. We got the nigga in the background talking about something that was gold. A gold car. Beige, gold. I mean, shit. We know how some niggas can fuck up a color. To some niggas, that's all the same. Beige, gold, tan, cream. Some niggas group that shit together. But seriously, y'all, like I really do think we're talking about the same vehicle. I mean, what y'all think? What y'all think about that shit? In my mind, they talking about the same car. And that's why in T-Streetz Live, when that guy got to talking about a gold car, T-Streetz shut his ass up. He stopped that conversation. And then, you know, when I thought about that, I thought about, remember we were talking about the shooter by the tree? And I'm like, well, who the fuck was he shooting at? Was he shooting at that beige van, gold van, whatever the fuck color it was? Was he shooting at that car trying to get away? I mean, maybe there was a guy by the tree, but maybe he was shooting in defense of Zack. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not sure. I'm not positive. I mean, shit, I wasn't out there. But I want y'all to let me know what y'all think in the comments. I wasn't going to, make no long ass video. I was trying to be quick, y'all. I know I was trying to be quick. But, I just wanted to put this out here. And if you have any more information, if we got to put a part 2 to this shit, we will. And for the most part, until new information come out, this is what we have. This is what we working with. So I want to know what y'all think in the comments about this shit. Because I know I got a lot of subscribers over here who genuinely wants to put this shit together. So I want to hear from y'all. And I want to let y'all know that I appreciate y'all riding with me. Y'all sticking with me. And be on the lookout for this new channel, man. Because I'm working on it right now. And yeah, it's going to be some of that. And I'm going to take y'all to the other side. So y'all can unwind with 54 keys. So stick with me, y'all. I'll be back.